We're at the south end of Trentham, about a mile north of the Wedgwood factory. So we're not going very far today. We're just going to the Wedgwood factory and the moorings there. We are meeting some vicious board gaming opponents.
And we're quite excited about seeing their new boat as well. Well, I am. I don't know if you are.
Well, yeah, I'm interested. So we don't have very far to travel. We don't have any locks. We don't have any obstacles. We've just got water, a mile, and a dog. So
the spider's on the move.
Yeah, they do that.
All right.
Poor thing.
Let's go.
Okay, so a short trip.
Trentham is just south of Stoke-on-Trent and now a suburb of the city. It was not one of the 6 towns that joined to form the city in the original federation in 1910.
Totally wrong about that no locks thing. There's one directly in front of us. So Joe is running ahead to try and get to it. And there's a boat coming up, it looks like, so it should be pretty easy. But my bad for reading the map wrong.
It's pretty good timing as there's a boat coming out of the lock just as we arrive.
Down the lock, it is just a short distance past the Wedgwood factory to some moorings just north of Barlaston, where we spot a familiar looking boat, so we pull up and settle in Barlaston for a couple of days.
We're in Barlaston and it's damp and miserable after quite a few days of lovely weather. Where's the dog?
He's right there. I'm keeping track.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite nice mooring here. We're by Wedgwood, although we haven't been to Wedgwood. We've basically been too distracted by our favourite neighbours.
Yeah, we had to go and have the Narrowboat Experience.
Twice.
We spent an evening having dinner, and George came on board their brand new boat and did a tour and scared the heck out of a couple of cats.
Munchie and Alice were not really happy with their visitor.
Munchie especially was just like, I'm going to back into this corner and disappear.
And George spent the evening emptying their toy box one by one.
Yeah, he brought every cat toy up and like...
And he now owes them a red mouse because the red mouse is no more. Yeah. We had the Carcassonne rematch
last night,
playing
the famous Carcassonne tournament that has been building up for weeks.
After in Nantwich Minimalist won, we reigned champion, but we played minimalist rules. So yesterday we had to play Narrowboat Experience rules. So they introduced farming. I don't like farming.
I think farming is part of the actual
Oh no,
rules.
it is.
Yeah.
But I still don't like it.
So they won the first match of the night, but then thanks to some cunning distraction techniques by Minimalist, we came back from the downhill and we ended up winning the second one. So yesterday was a draw.
The second game took forever, and like we kept losing track of whose go it was. I think Kath missed a few goes.
Yeah, it was mainly because of us all getting lost trying to figure out halfway through the game whether or not we could sort of backtrack and add 3 points to the Silver Propeller Challenge. Until we all sort of counted the locks and went, ew.
But it was a really fun night, and now they're going north and we're going south. But maybe we'll meet them again in a couple of weeks, hopefully, or a week. But today we're heading down to Stone because we need to do laundry.
And find the famous first rock.
Michael thinks stone...
I think it's funny.
Is the invention place of
It
stone.
makes sense. There's the sword and the stone, right? This is where the sword was, I'm thinking, like King Arthur. But I don't know.
Just making it up.
Yeah. I make a lot of stuff up. But anyway, we're heading down to Stone. There's a few miles, few locks, but luckily there's some boatyards there we can talk to about blacking and maybe pick up some parts for an engine service we are needing to do.
It kind of is raining after like a week of really nice weather. It's a bit damp and miserable, but it's not too bad.
No, it was drizzling this morning, a little bit of a shower. At the moment, we're just kind of damp, and so we're hoping to make it down before anything kicks in, because there's still supposed to be some more this afternoon. The next few days are forecast to be a little bit damp, but hopefully not too bad.
Yeah.
We want to kind of keep going down to Great Haywood, so...
Then we should go.
We're going. We're on our way.
As we said, our moorings were very close to the Wedgwood factory. Josiah Wedgwood was keen for the canal to pass through Etruria, where his original factory was located, and was a supporter of the construction of the Trent and Mersey Canal, as it would facilitate safe and smooth transportation of his pots. He apparently cut the first sod of the canal in Barlaston in 1766. We had moored slightly north of Barlaston, but it was a very short walk to the village shop, and the Plume of Feathers pub, which is owned by Neil Morrissey, an actor I learned all about after Joe forced me to watch Line of Duty.
This canal side property is its own arm of the canal, with moorings for 2 boats and its own lift bridge.
The rain is starting to fall, and we are wondering if we should have perhaps stayed in Barlaston for another day.
We get to the first lock of the day and there's a boat coming up, plus we are behind the boat that passed us just before we set off, so we have a little while to wait till it's our turn. This is the first of 4 Meaford locks.
There isn't a second boat coming up, so we fill the empty lock ready for our descent. When there is a boat in the lock, it's advisable to open the paddles gradually to ensure a smoother and safer ride for the boat. As there is no boat in the lock, we open the paddles fully, and you can see just how forceful the water in a lock chamber can be.
Please note, swinging 2 windlasses is not advisable when opening a lock gate. Or ever.
While we wait for the boat in front to descend the second lock, we find this intriguing box next to the towpath.
Will there be anything in the Stone Town information box? We've seen chickpeas. This time we actually found stuff.
There's a dead spider. Oh.
Dead spider. Spotting boats on the waterways book.
2016. Stone Town, a canal town.
Wow, 2016 edition. That's up to date.
There's plenty going on in 2016.
Yeah, look at where's the event calendar for 2016?
Oh no, this is still useful. It's still trying to rain on us, and it's succeeding.
Lochs can be dangerous places at the best of times. When you are getting wet in the rain, it is tempting to rush, but it is just not worth it. We actually try and take our time more, as the floor becomes slick and slippy, and the rain distracting.
Meaford House Loch is just through the bridge, and when we arrive we don't realise that there is already a boat coming up. So Michael has to back through the bridge as there isn't enough room on the other side for 2 boats to pass, and we need to get out of the way.
I'm not sure if you picked up on the clues, but I think we've arrived in Stone. We're heading to the visitor moorings at the south end of town and have a few more lochs to pass through before we can stop for the day.
Watch out, Swan family, incoming narrowboat. There's a boat coming up the lochs, which gave me enough time to feed the swans and Michael enough time to meet the slobbery Newfoundland just out of shot.
A quick stop at the Elsan to empty the liquid tanks, and then we pull forward to the mooring at the stone boat building Chandlery, where we pick up some parts for our engine service. There's also a waste point here, so Joe unloads our rubbish while I visit the shop.
There are 3 moorings below Yard Lock, but as they are all occupied, we have no choice but to go through one more lock.
It's a Saturday afternoon, and there's quite a crowd outside the Star Pub at the lock. The question now is, will there be a free mooring below the lock? We pass the water point, then 2 48-hour moorings which are occupied. This is a winding hole, so there are no moorings here. Lots more boats, then the perfect spot for Perseverance.
So we are in, well, we're still in Stone, we came through Stone.
We're just south of the Stone Locks, and we have found a mooring.
It's quite busy here.
Yeah, it's very busy here. It's like surprisingly, I mean, it is a well-known canal town, and it's sort of the first significant place north of Great Haywood, so you can think of it as sort of,
Oh yeah, like a...
you know, it's a spot people go to.
How was your cruise? Oh, it was wet.
Yeah.
We got rained on.
It was nice. It rained a bit in the beginning. We passed this family who was on a hire boat. The boat in front of us passed them fairly quick, so basically this whole family's standing at the side of the canal, people on the front holding the front line, people on the back holding on the back line, and the guy on the engine trying to control, and everything's just shifting around. And so I just, slowed down and stopped the engine and kind of told them how to get off the bank.
I think there's the fact that you went over past them and took over, helped them out because they weren't being pulled away. Yeah, and they kind of followed us all the way down and then overtook us when we stopped at the chandlery in Stone.
Yeah, which was actually kind of convenient. The locks have been fairly, straightforward today. There hasn't been a lot of delays.
There's just been a few boats, that's all.
Few boats.
You'd expect that on a Saturday in June, even though it's raining.
Yeah, there's been a few boats moving, a couple of weights here and there. Tempers flare at times because of
mainly mine.
Mainly hers.
But the thing is, my temper doesn't flare at people. I'm like, Michael, did you hear what they said? What he said?
Your temper flares at a certain kind of casual chauvinism that the casual chauvinist doesn't know they have. I get it. It is annoying. It is. It's the sort of thing where I just walk off and go like,
I don't. I walk over to Michael and I'm like
did that go super dark or is it just me?
Yeah, it's gone a bit dark. So have we got anything else to say about today?
No, I mean, it was a fairly straightforward day. Lovely cruise. It was sad to say goodbye to the Narrowboat Experience.
He said to us, "Why are you going? It's going to rain."
Yeah.
Yep, it rained.
Yeah. It's so nice to see them and to have a little bit of socialization that is not just cruising past somebody at 30 kilometers an hour and going, hey! The rain coming down was not so cold that it was uncomfortable. I wasn't bored.
Because when it stopped, you just dried out. It wasn't like you were soaked through for the day.
Yeah, I know. The t-shirt's not even damp or anything. There was just a little bit of rain on a kind of hot day, so it was kind of a pleasant sort of summery feel. People are nice. The locks went relatively well.
It was like a little bit of a queue, but we only had to queue behind one boat. It was not like three back like it was at other locks. Yeah, came into town. The town has a definite feel of urban, but kind of canal side industrial. Yeah.
So there's a number of boatyards, and there's the place we stopped, which is the chandlery that's just past some services. Went in, got fuel filters and all the sort of stuff I need for an engine, oil change. Wasn't cheap, but
it wasn't.
It sort of covered all the bases. And then there's the what was it? The cruising club, Canal Cruising, Stone Cruising Club.
Yeah,
or was it just,
I can't remember. Canal Cruising Club.
So there's the Canal Cruising Club that just has a bunch of boats sitting outside some dry docks.
Yeah, so we need to go and speak to them. But if we don't go today, they probably won't be open tomorrow because it's Sunday. So
yeah. I might just have to call them on the phone or something.
Well, I've called them before. I just wanted to have a look at the docks.
Right.
To make the decision.
Came down one more lock, found a gaggle of children.
Outside the pub.
Outside the pub, and they were just the cutest. They were pushing and pulling on
They did the gates for us.
The gates, so that was cool.
And the two mums were like, "Oh, I love your accent."
So they gave me the recommendation.
Are you from America? I love your accent.
Yeah, I've been asked about a dozen times today where I'm from, so that's cool. Oh, and we met a Newfoundland. Yeah. That was cute. Great big bear of a dog.
It's just been a nice cruising day. But quite a short distance, lots of locks and lots of talking and meeting people and stuff. Yeah,
definitely feel like it's been a longish...
Yeah, I thought it was only a 2-hour cruise, but it was longer than that.
Yeah.
The plan for the rest of the day is I'm cleaning the house, Michael's doing the laundry. I wonder what time the laundrette's open till.
That's a good question.
You should go.
Okay.
So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.
Give us a thumbs up if you did, and comment down below.
Give us some thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to subscribe to the channel.
And of course, hit the bell thing if you want to be annoyed by your phone every so often.
That was rubbish.
Was that rubbish?
Yeah.
I thought that wasn't rubbish.
All right, I'll keep it.
We're going to have to wedge wood on the way back.
Yeah. Wedge it.
We're going to wedge it Viswood. We're going to visit Wedgwood on the way back. When in doubt, just flow. I'm not talking diarrhea. Anyway, do I need to take the kit off?
The kit?
Do I need to take my kit off?
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to work for everybody. Plus, where am I going to put the microphone?
Those women at the last look. Is that your husband? Oh, I love his accent. Then she tried to that boat's going to go out and then my boat's going to come in.
I don't have an accent.
You
Everyone
do.
here has accents. I walk around with the way of speaking. This is English.
It's American-Canadian English.
It's Americanadian. With a little bit of New Zealandish.
Kiwi.
And some pronunciation from various places in this country. Yeah, it's from all over the place. There's a certain amount of
Oh God, you didn't see that?
what are you doing?
He just fell asleep standing up.
Oh, did you fall asleep standing
I'm
up?
not even joking. He was sat there, his eyes closed, and he tilted like that, and then he put his foot down.
He caught himself.
I wish you'd seen that.
I wish we'd had that on video.
Keep going.
I've seen him kind of nod off a couple
He
of
was like
times,
this.
but not while
He
standing.
was like this. And then I was like, he's going to go, but you were talking, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, you caught yourself, George. That's the important
That's the
thing.
cutest thing.
No, he's such a good dog.
We do have the best dog.
And she kept talking to me in her, I don't have a voice.
So I hope you enjoyed the video.
If you did, good. Give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up.
If you have comments, put them down below. If you didn't like the video, do the other thummy thing. And I've lost it. Totally.
Subscribe.
Should we do this again?
Yeah.
Next.
Oh, I just turned it up.
Next vloggle.
Asta-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Ah, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
He means line of duty.
We had moored slightly north of Barlaston, but it was very
I'm
short.
joking.
Let me do it. We had moored slightly north of Barlaston, but it was a very short walk to the village shop and the Plume of Feathers pub, which is owned by Neil Morrissey, an actor I learned all about after Joe forced me to watch a show called Line of Duty. While we wait for the boat in front to descend the lock gate, we find this intriguing box next to the towpath.
When we wait for the boat to descend the lock gate. What? Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. While we wait for the boat in front to descend. Alright. Focus. A quick stop at the L sand to empty the liquid tanks. Then we pull forward to the moorings on the stone boat. I knew that was going to trip me up. It is Saturday afternoon, and there's quite a crowd outside the Star pub at the lock. The question now is, will there be free... Sorry, that clicky bumpy. It's a Saturday morning.
It's not.
It's not. Ready? Be professional.